Coming up on Lexington Now, one community organization is helping war veterans make the transition back home. New parking fines and downtown revitalization is kicking into high gear. This and more up next on a special edition of Lexington Now. Welcome to this special edition of Lexington Now. We're coming to you from the historic downtown courthouse where, as you can see, renovations have begun. Later in the show, you will get a tour of the courthouse, but first to the news that's shaping your urban county government. Returning home from war and military service can be a tough transition, but one community organization is helping female veterans make that transition just a little bit smoother. There was a groundbreaking with Lady Veterans Hands for Hope just a few days before the 4th of July holiday.
We'd like to welcome everybody to the Thurman Abbott home, Kentucky's first ever transitional home for lady veterans. We hope you'll be excited as we are. Absolutely. As being a person who lived here in Lexington for a long period of time, I'm very happy to see that this is in Lexington, Kentucky, and we hope you're as excited about this as we are.
A great announcement today, celebrating, of course, the grand opening of Shepherd's Hands, Kentucky's first long-term housing specifically dedicated to serving women veterans. I'm so proud to welcome Shepherd's Hands into my hometown and our community, Lexington, and we thank all of those of you who are here representing the work of many to make this possible. But two ladies in particular deserve a debt of gratitude, and that is, of course, Phyllis Abbott, the executive director here, and Sherry Whitehouse, who has led Lady Vets Connects. And let's give them a round of applause. Since 9/11 and during the global war on terror, this country has asked a great deal of our daughters, of our sisters, of our mothers, of our friends who are women. And they have served this country with commitment. They have served this country with dedication, with selfless sacrifice, and with valor. And with that, and helping us win these battles, comes all of the consequences of coming home and dealing with their service. And there are trials and there's challenges. And so this place is a place that helps women veterans cope with reintegration with society. It's a place that will provide access to job training, to mentoring, to medical treatment, including addiction recovery. So it is an honor for me to be here today to thank Sherry, to thank Phyllis, and everybody involved in this to make this a reality. You can count on our congressional office to be as supportive as possible as we honor these heroes to our country. Thank you very much.
Congratulations to Shepherd's Hands. Lexington is proud to be home to a place where homeless women veterans can live and get the services that they need to return to work and reunite with their families. Just since 2014, we have taken on a number of major projects. One of the first actions we took was to join the National Mayor's Challenge to end veterans' homelessness. And since that time, the number of veterans living in homeless shelters has declined more than 32%. The number of veterans, thanks Steve. And I think you'll be glad to hear that we've still got a lot of work to do, and we know that. But the number of veterans living on the streets today is effectively zero. And that is a function. That is because of the thanks we need to give to our network of providers who have collaborated to quickly rehouse any veteran who falls into homelessness. Phyllis, you and all of your associates, all of everyone here at Shepherd's House, Shepherd's Hands, are important partners in this work. Shepherd's Hands is helping women veterans who need a roof over their head and the services to help them heal. Those in our nation, so many of you here today, we thank you for your service. And as veterans, you deserve, they all deserve, our very best. We're committed as a community where every veteran is housed and treated with respect and the dignity that they have earned. So Phyllis, thank you again. Thank you again from the bottom of my heart and the bottom of the heart of everybody in Lexington, for making this extraordinary project possible.
I purchased a house from him and got with Phyllis and Sherry, and the rest is history. So whatever contribution that I could make to her work is a small thing compared to what she's going to do in the future. I told her when she becomes rich and famous, remember, I gave her a start.
Okay, I want to thank everyone here because many of you have prayed with us daily to make this mission possible. And we've had many volunteers that's come and been a part of this, and we have had a team of volunteers that have dedicated at least 30 hours a week to make this project happen. Okay. Closer up here in the back. Okay. And I'm not going to talk long because it's going to storm, but I just want to say thank you. And this is only the first, and I pray for your continued support. Thank you all.
For more information, you can log on to the city's website. That's lexingtonky.gov. $250. So that's how much you could pay if you end up parking in the wrong place. This new fine is part of a new ordinance that's aimed at making sure that handicap accessible parking spaces stay accessible for the people who need them. You've likely seen this sign in front of a diagonally striped box in a parking lot and wondered, what is that space for?
So that access aisle really allows me as a person who uses a wheelchair to get in and out of my vehicle safely.
As you can see here, a driver or passenger in a lift van pulls into the space next to the stripes. They drop the lift and then the person in the wheelchair can safely get out. But all around town, people have been blocking or parking in these spaces, making it impossible for people in wheelchairs to use them. Now there's a new law to address that.
People get confused over those access aisles. So the new city ordinance states that in any new construction, any parking lot that's resurfaced, reconfigured, or redesigned, restriped in any way, the access aisle needs to be striped in yellow or white. Additionally, no parking anytime needs to be painted in that access aisle, and we need to have a sign erected that says no parking anytime.
Those who violate the new law could also face a higher fine.
The handicap parking fine in Lexington used to be $15, which is not very much. So we approached our city council and they unanimously approved increasing the fine to $250.
In order for drivers to be aware of where not to park, existing business owners are being asked to restripe and properly post signage. Christy Stambaugh, Director of Aging and Disability Services with the City of Lexington, says the city is willing to help with that.
We would provide the sign to your business free of charge that says no parking anytime.
Stambaugh says making these changes is an important step in making Lexington better for everyone.
Because as our community is aging, we need to make sure that we're a very livable community. And by increasing handicap parking, that's one of the ways that we're making Lexington a more livable community.
For more information about this program, or if you're a business owner who would like one of those free signs, you can log on to the city's website, lexingtonky.gov, or you can call LexCall 311. And coming up after the break, we'll tell you how one business is doing its part to help revitalize business in downtown.
Yeah! You've got to give a little love. Give a little love. Go on and do it. You can't abuse it. Give a little love. Give a little love. Go on and do it. Go! You've got to give a little love.
Hello, I'm Detective Mark Thomas with the Lexington Police Department. You may also know me from Bluegrass Crime Stoppers. I'm here to talk to you a little bit today about a new texting system that we have available through any smartphone. In the body of your message, you can text LexPD plus your tip to crimes. When you're submitting anonymous information, we ask that you include several things that would help us conduct the investigations more thoroughly, such as a person's name, their home address, possible license plate numbers, any other people involved, or why you think that they're conducting the type of activity that you believe that they are. All of those things, no matter how small you believe they could be, are relevant to the investigation. So please include those. So remember, you can send your anonymous tip information either through text, you can call the Bluegrass Crime Stoppers anonymous tip line at 859-253-2020, or you can go online to bluegrasscrimestoppers.com. Thank you.
This message is brought to you by the U.S. Fire Administration. Have two ways out. When fire strikes, deadly smoke can fill your home within minutes. That's why the USFA wants you to plan and practice home fire drills. Draw a map of each level of your home showing all doors and windows. Discuss the map with everyone who lives with you. Practice your home fire drill at least twice a year. Make sure all doors and windows that lead outside open easily. Push the smoke alarm button to start the drill. Try feeling your way in the dark or with your eyes closed. Have at least two ways out of every room. If your first way out is blocked by fire or smoke, you can use your second way out. If there is smoke, get low and go. Crawl quickly under the smoke to your nearest exit. Close doors behind you and gather at a pre-planned outside meeting place where first responders can see you. Call 911. Remember, get out and stay out. Never go back inside for people, pets, or things. Learn more at www.usfa.fema.gov.
Welcome back to the show. As you can see, we are here at the old downtown courthouse, which is getting a complete makeover, and we're going to show you a little bit of it at the end of the show. But first, beer lovers now have a new place to enjoy a cold one. That's because West Six Brewery has opened a new tap room downtown. It's all part of a push to help revitalize the downtown area.
I'm Ben Self. I'm one of the founders here at West Six Brewing, and we started West Sixth about 4.5 years ago now, with the idea of bringing better, more great beer to Lexington and having a positive impact on the communities we're a part of.
Cool. I'm Jesse Brasher. I run the tap room at West Six, and started just a couple months in right after West Six opened in 2012, and been with the company ever since.
West Six Brewing is a production brewery and tap room located in the old Rainbow Bread Factory in Lexington. We're up on 6th Street. Corner of 6th and Jefferson, and we've converted that old factory that was a bread producer for 140 years into a mix of tenants, of nonprofits and for-profits that all have a sort of community focus part of their business. So before we started the green room here, this was the private dining space that was for Bellini's restaurant, and it went out of business about a year ago. And so when our friends next door at Sunrise Bakery called us and said, hey, we've got this really cool space next door that we're not sure what we want to do with. Do you all have any ideas? That's where the idea of the green room came from.
We wanted to take advantage of being downtown, getting new people who have not been exposed to our product before, getting people from out of town, folks who are staying in a hotel downtown for a UK basketball game, doing the Bourbon Trail, something like this. Just a new kind of space that we could expose people to our brand.
I think there's a lot of really cool things happening downtown right now, and it's fun to be really in the center of it, between the new 21C building that's just down the street from us, to all the cool festivals that happen over at the Courthouse Plaza and at the Fifth Third Pavilion, to the revisioning of the courthouse, to the eventual construction that will happen across the street at Centerpoint. It really is, this is the heart of downtown, and it's going to be a great place for us to experience all the best that Lexington has to offer, whether it's 4th of July, whether it's Oktoberfest or Thriller, all these different fun events. It'll be great to be a part of them. We had a great opening about a month and a half ago, and we've been really excited about the turnout so far. We've been seeing, Jesse mentioned, lots of new faces. If we can really reach out to folks who might not otherwise venture out of downtown, give them a great West 6th experience, give them a great Lexington experience. We hope then that they'll come out to visit our brewery, but also to visit some of the other great breweries. We're really good friends with all the folks who run the other breweries here in town, and hopefully we'll give them a good enough experience where they want to go and try them all and see the great beer that is being made here in Lexington.
Well, in addition to producing beer down here on a small scale, which is going to be something really unique to downtown and something very cool for us to be able to do in this space. Also just being a part of that really great downtown atmosphere when there are UK games, graduation, summer festivals, things like this. In addition to doing private events here, working with some other organizations and businesses in the area to do some events here as well. I think it should be a really cool addition to the downtown scene.
Yeah, one thing we haven't done yet, but we're still planning to do as well, is do a big renovation of the patio space. We've got some ideas for how to make the patio that's directly on Main Street much more green, with a lot more planters and much cooler enclosed space with lights and music, and all that stuff will be a really fun thing. It's kind of different from what anyone else has done downtown. I think that there are a lot of people helping to contribute to the revitalization of downtown. And we've seen that on Short Street, we've seen that on Jefferson, we've seen that in a bunch of different areas of town. I think it's great to be a part of that. It's also going to be really fun to have production of beer downtown. So one of the cool things about the Green Room is that it's not only going to just be a tap room, but it's also going to be a production facility. We're going to make around 3 barrels of beer at a time in tanks that'll be here next week in the back. And we'll be able to do some really fun experimental stuff, but it'll be great to show folks that you can even take an old small space like this and turn it into something that's making a really great product out of it. And that's going to be a lot of fun.
To learn more about businesses in downtown Lexington, you can visit this website, lexingtondda.com. And the weather continues to heat up, and that means this is a great time to visit Lexington pools and aquatic centers. Here's more.
My name is Scott Sheets. I'm the aquatic director here at Parks. We have 7 pools. We have one at Pickett Home, which is the pool that we're at now. We have Southland Aquatic Center, which is off Claysmill Road. We have Shiloh, which is off Reynolds Road. We have Woodland Aquatic Center, which is right in the middle of the town. We have Tates Creek Aquatic Center, which is at the end of Gaines Way. We have Castlewood, which is on the north side of town. We have Douglas, which is off Georgetown Road.
What are the prices of the pools in the aquatic centers, Scott?
The aquatic centers are 4 aquatic centers, which are Tates Creek, Castlewood, Southland, and Woodland are $5 for adults and $4 for children. Our neighborhood pools, which is Pickett Home, Shiloh, and Douglas, are $4 for adults and $3 for children. People.
For more information for Parks, for the pools and different stuff, where can people get information, pricing?
For more information and pricing, you can go to lexingtonky.gov and click the Parks and Recreation tab.
Parks and Recreation also wants you to know that there's plenty to do in Lexington's park that doesn't involve getting wet. We spoke with Emily Green and she tells us all about it.
My name is Emily Green and I do public relations and marketing for Parks and Recreation. We've got a lot going on at Woodland Park this summer actually. We've got Summerfest is coming back to Woodland Park this year. Starts June 30th and it's going to start off with As You Like It by William Shakespeare, and then after that for 2 weeks they'll be doing Jesus Christ Superstar. And then starting August 4th, we will have Ballet Under the Stars, and the youth will be doing Tinkerbell and the Pirates, and then the main show will start at 9 o'clock. And then we have the Woodland Art Fair, which will be going on August 20th and 21st, I believe. And that'll be the usual, 200 plus vendors that will be there showing off, photography, woodworking, ceramics, all sorts of artists will be there, plus there'll be some live music and things. And then we've got our camps going on. They started just recently, and all those at Camp Kearney, Castlewood, Kenwick. We also have Dirt Bowls coming back to Douglas Park. It started on Father's Day, and then we'll have Super Sunday later in July. So we're happy to have it back at Douglas Park where it started. So we have on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, it's LexKY Parks. And then also, you can visit the website, lexingtonky.gov, where we have all the information, and we usually have showing, what's going on this week in parks. And then, of course, you can contact any of the places. McConnell Springs or Raven Run always have different programs going on. I know McConnell Springs has their junior naturalist programs, and Raven Run also has Little Explorers programs, and those are usually Saturday mornings at 10. They have different things going on, so you can always contact them to see what's going on and to register for any programs they have going on.
Well, here on the Courthouse Plaza, where we've been doing the show all day, there are some beautiful flowers, and you can see these right behind me. But these flowers pale in comparison to the beautiful ones that you can see at the UK LFUCG Arboretum. There's also plenty to do there for the kids in the Kentucky Children's Garden.
Yes!
Okay, good.
Yeah, so we can get on stuff, okay?
Yeah. There's so much for them to do here. They love the pioneer cabin. They can pretend like they are on the frontier and playing with the plates and making a fire and hanging the laundry.
Jackie Gallimore is talking about the UK Arboretum Children's Garden.
Kids love to wade in the stream and get wet. They love to be in the boat and go fishing.
From the train to the varied terrain, there is plenty for kids to learn about and see. There's also structured programs to keep these little minds engaged when they aren't in school.
At 11, 1, and 3, we do programming, and depending on the day, we do a craft, a story time, plant something, or go on a hike with them.
Gallimore says the goal is about instilling a love and appreciation for nature in these little humans while they're young.
Whenever kids grow up, they're going to be our future scientists, politicians, that sort of thing. So we want them to love nature at a young age so they can grow up appreciating it and wanting to preserve it when they get older.
I can't wait! This is so fun!
For more information about activities for your kids and the entire family at the Arboretum, you can log on to their website. It's listed here on the screen. Despite the fact that it's going to be a bit of a shorter week in the urban county government because of the Independence Day holiday, it's still going to be a busy one as council prepares for summer recess. This week they'll be having the General Government and Social Services Committee, the council work session, and the council meeting. That's all going on July 5th. You can watch these meetings live on GTV3 or online. Now that's just a quick peek at what's happening on the calendar this week, but for a complete listing of meetings and events, you can log on to the city's website at lexingtonky.gov. That's all for this week's edition of Lexington Now. We'll return next week with more news from your urban county government. We hope that you've enjoyed seeing the outside of the downtown Courthouse Plaza. And as we leave today, we're going to show you a few scenes from inside so you can see how the renovations are coming along. Now, you can see what we're up to in the meantime before next week's show by following us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. You can also get 24/7 traffic updates by following us on Twitter. Our handle is @LexRex. And now we have a new feature, live traffic cameras. They are on the city's website, and you can see those anytime as well. For the staff and producers at GTV3, I'm Sherelle Roberts, and that's it for now.